We started off having.
Man, Cop, you sound different.
Fuck you, buddy. Cop's muted.
God damn.
God, take it, crap.
Sorry, I'm a little busy right now.
Yeah, see, he's a
Don't
little
worry
busy
about
right
it,
now.
it's
I'm doing him a
just a
favor. He just texted me. He said, "Hey, Al, can you take over for me?" Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. That's why I made that joke, because you and I are the same person. I'm just busting your balls. Where do we start?
Well, we started with Jericho and Lucian doing a little science experiment. We created, I guess Lucian created 3, I guess like sonic bolts for himself and Flora to use. Then we left, I think, right? Nothing else happened.
Because we're
Clint swung by and talked to the captain one more time, I think.
yeah, we talked about Kemper potentially being the bone collector. I think something else happened.
Bradford mentioned some
Bradford.
theories to basically our core group, minus Flora, because not gonna lie, I just forgot. I forgot Flora was like there in the city. I'm sorry. I realized that after. I was like, oh fuck, I should have gotten.
Wow.
City.
The big city after jumping through the portal. Sakusia, there we go. Yeah, because it had some relation with like the nobles and stuff like that, and it's just like I don't want to mention this to everyone. I just want to mention it to the people that know somewhat of this information that I know somewhat.
And it was about the statue that you found, right?
Yeah, statues, noble houses. That orcs were one of them. I don't know which one specifically, but they had noble symmetry on
I
them.
believe it was the 4th or 5th house.
I believe it was 5th house as well. I don't think we had the information what
Extracting from the
animal they
record,
were.
basically.
I think it just said, yeah, exactly. They were just scrubbed. So there's some weird shit that's happened there. There was also some theory of maybe maybe this place was built by the orcs, and maybe the dungeon was built by the orcs, and maybe like they were equivalency to dwarves, which is why it was like a dwarf statue and an orc statue that were shaking hands.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of information here. What the fuck do we do with this kind of things from his perspective? Also, the section to the right of our current base used to be a dragon hold, where
Roost.
dragon hung out. Roost. That's a very good word for it. He's confident of that. I could go in more detail on why, but we were kind of. I just didn't mention it. That's what happened. Anyways, yeah, I think after that and
Finally.
Clint talking to the captain, we headed out.
Yeah. And the first thing that happened, well, I remember Clint and Oni were talking about the difference between like luck and foresight.
Luck and premonition.
Luck and premonition. And
He talked about how there's not really true to Doran's theory on the fiends. They're not seeing the future. They've just calculated everything so much, discern patterns so much that it might as well be equivocal, which is what Oni was describing. Like, it's not luck that you would be banking on. Luck is, in reality, a combination of, skill and capability and opportunity. And, as he said, like, lucky is skill, he's capability, and the world out there is opportunity. So that's like very motivational in a certain regard.
Yeah, and then he gave you his balls to play with, or
yeah, he gave me his rocks. One which I lovingly call it the Harry Potter rock because it has a lightning bolt scar on the top of it.
Oh yeah.
One which has some amber in it. Yep, and that has no kind of meaning whatsoever except to the two of you that are in the Saturday game. And he's like, all right, spin these around and we'll talk about it later.
Also, I forget. Have we said it aloud that there's like a neat connection between Oni and Yarrow from the last Saturday campaign? Oni,
You would be
Oni
the one
has
making that
foresight.
connection, 'cause I have no idea who Yarrow was.
Right.
He was an Oni, and our lines
Okay.
compared.
An actual Oni.
The villain that beat them.
He was the one that got
In
away.
fairness, there are a few villains that beat them technically, right?
Yeah, but they got their comeback.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, they got to run those.
Except Yarrow.
That dude dipped.
Except
He was
Yarrow.
gone. What is it like?
Damn.
Damn,
Cross
you
multiple front lines.
really showed us leaving the campaign entirely. Never showing back up.
Leaving this timeline.
Leaving this timeline and continuing to not be at the winner sides.
That's the guy that beat you once in like a fighting game, and then when you ask him for a rematch, he just leaves.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
No,
he
get
was your
good.
villain.
No.
He was your villain,
Bitch.
but you weren't his villain or his goal. He had something else.
It's a good weapon, isn't it?
But yeah, no, I thought that was an interesting connection,
person.
coincidence, whatever you want to call it. But yeah,
Thematic
we
overlap.
pressed on, tried to go through a very heavy fog in a forest, and kept seeing faces of people that weren't really there, like Mr. Ford or Emil or Khan. There's
And then
Jaguar?
Huatichi
The
Warrior,
beta.
that was definitely not there.
There's
right?
definitely
And a Mephisto.
Mephisto.
The
Clint,
Malfisto
but
is
also
the
Clint.
only one that looked around and like moved like it might actually. I don't know. It seemed more animated.
No, the Huachichi rower is totally real because he just left. Once we were walking past him, he just left.
You're just like watching us the whole time.
Yeah, he was just watching us like a bunch of like fucking high idiots walking around campus.
At one point, we would hear him go, "Damn."
Dude, they're so fucked up.
At one point, Clint just kind of wandered off because that's what he
That's
does.
Clint.
He was looking at the rocks.
And then Flora was the only one who noticed he wandered off and then wandered off.
And then we don't know.
Well, you know.
We don't know where either of them are. We don't know if the people that are with us are actually them, or they don't even. We don't even know if they're actually themselves anymore. It's just. Oh,
I love that
that's-
putting two sets of the same tokens on the map immediately seeds paranoia.
And just a full fucking cake.
It doesn't
like,
take a lot.
Especially when one pair of them just goes off into the fucking forest.
That's scary, though.
Somehow I feel like Yaro's behind this. Anyway,
We
This
should-
was the timeline he went to.
That's gonna be a tagline for the rest of the campaign. I don't know how, but Yaro's behind this.
how could Yaro
Gonna
do
be
this?
the last campaign. A portal opens up. Yaro walks out of it. Finally, freedom. Wait a second.
We eventually made our way through the mist. We had the root structures of the trees as a guide.
Mhm.
As Oni had pointed out, their growth pattern helps us navigate when we're literally walking blind. What was it like? You could see someone that's 2 feet in front of you and hear someone that's like 7 feet ahead of you, but that's really it. Which is fucking hell, truly, for long distance reconnaissance.
Mhm.
But we did eventually make it through and to the. I don't know if this place really has a name. The Eurothax's operating theater? I don't know.
The cool new map.
The cool new map. It was a cool new map. We spotted a
So-
tower in the immediate distance.
We were
Not
like,
spotted
"I wanna go to that
Sebastian."
tower."
Oni got him sending from Sebastian. Alright, I guess Oni sending to Sebastian. And we were trying to make our way up to the tower when we got spotted, quote unquote, detected by a Eurothax. And we realized very quickly how different a summer Eurothax is. They turned into a fucking B-2 stealth bomber, I guess. It's crazy.
Yeah, things
Literally.
moving so quickly that it broke the sound barriers so incredibly that it hurt us.
I mean, yeah, if you were standing next to a
We're
jet that broke the sound barrier, it would hurt.
It would hurt. It would hurt. And I'm here for it.
I think a highlight of that session was probably Oni like jumping off right as the thing was swooping down and making it shoot itself with an immovable rod.
I would say Tide Turner would be Lucian with the web, or else that thing would have still been flying,
Oh.
which would have been a major pain in
Yeah.
the ass.
Yeah,
Basically, hit it with a fucking net. Just
If it works.
Yeah, shot the
Yeah, y'all had a lot of
at
good
it
moments.
midair, tangled it up like a goddamn ATSD Star Wars style.
And then
Yeah.
the whistling bolt through the open wound that cooked it from the inside out.
Or AT.
ETT.
Atat.
But we killed the damn thing. Mission accomplished. I think some people managed to retrieve the I'm gonna call them mines. The explosive spikes that it had.
I retrieved a full one.
You retrieved a
Yeah,
full
you rolled
one.
like a 96 out of 100.
They're no longer burning red hot because their heat came from how fast it was moving, and obviously when it's not moving and dead, it's not conducting any heat. I think that was it, really. I think we ended basically right after combat.
Yeah, it blew up, and y'all got to incinerating it, just in case. Just in case the pieces can be scaled.
Yeah.
We don't need to give the bone collector what it's looking for on a silver platter.
Right? Yeah, right. Seems ill-advised.
Yeah. Did we end up making it to this location, or were we still basically heading to it?
You were heading,
Okay, so we're like there.
which won't be long. You were in the hill.
Yeah.
So, anything else that happened that we should speak on? I will take that as a no.
No, that's about it.
Okay, before we start, I was just scrolling for some music and I saw this dude's face, and I don't know what the hell is going on.
What game was it, Toro?
The Kushiji guy? What?
Third Colonel says
He looks like he's trying to hold a fart in.
It's because he knows that's gonna become a shard if he doesn't. Like, that's where the slight fear comes from.
that's what the one fact is.
The one fact.
He's ready to share it with the world.
I don't know. I just saw that and it was just like, it's like one of those unsettling things you see. It's like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with your face?
Why are you AI generated in real life?
Dude, that's a good insult. I'm gonna use that from now on.
That is pretty good.
Thank you.
Alright, calm down. Alright, so you are is there anything else you do as you set this creature's remnants ablaze? You did recover a massive sail spike from it. Don't know what you do with that, but one Eurythax sail spike.
Sail spike? So like on this, like furthest back, like dorsal, almost.
Yeah, here, let me throw it on the.
Oh, yeah, I guess we do have the actual image of it.
Yeah, one of these big boys right here.
We should
Damn,
be careful with
that's
that,
big.
because if the bone collector gets that might actually be a problem.
Or we could use as bait for the book collector.
Oh, actually. Imagine the bone collector, but it can make a challenge on its back.
Yeah, we'll get an anvil. Of course, we'll go to the top of the tower. We'll put an anvil there on a rope, and then
We'll put a cardboard box with a stick, and
and then we'll have a series of. We'll put that at the end and a bunch of M&Ms leading up to it. He'll fall right for it.
Then we'll
That's
paint a tunnel on the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I know how we're gonna beat the bone collector now, guys.
Some fucking Looney Tunes.
that'd be a great end to the campaign, honestly.
Worth it.
He does look like them. Oh my god.
Wait.
He's a puppet.
Yeah.
He's literally.
Oh,
a
he
puppet.
does. He looks like a Muppet. Yeah.
He's not a puppet. He's a muppet.
He's a muppet.
Ah,
Fucking muppet.
it's so weird. Okay.
We get
So you
distracted
are
so
making your
fucking
way this way. You've taken care of the remains. What do you do with like the bone that doesn't burn?
That's a lot, isn't it? So
A lot of it's shattered.
Okay. Can we
don't. Can we
collapse
collect it
like
and use
that
it as a chemical?
cave? Oh, chemical maybe.
collect it.
How? A rough approximation. How heavy, if we combine it all together, like swept into a pile, put it along.
Fairly light.
100 pounds.
Actually, lighter than you think. Probably only about 50
Really?
pounds.
I mean,
Yeah,
it makes sense. They're
the
like
bones are
bird
pretty
bones,
hollow.
kind of, right?
That makes sense. Okay. So, do we want to just split it amongst us, and then we can figure out what to do with it later?
Sure.
I mean, hell,
could
we could
do that.
sell that. If we want,
That's
if we don't mind the moral implications of selling Darkwood material in the City of Light, we could sell it.
I mean, like, we didn't have to sell it for it to get in the wrong hands last time, did we?
Well, now we can make a profit off of it. All
Uh,
right, it's different this time.
worst case scenario, we could shove it in that little like cave that Lucian was hiding in, and just have that collapse and just have it crush the bones.
I don't think that would crush the bones.
I don't know.
We could
Yeah,
also
if
bring him
it's-
back to Captain Corvaz because he did want research material.
True. Okay, yeah, then splitting them amongst each other. How many of us do we have again?
Bet. Easy enough. Oni's gonna tell you to try to break it into pieces that's about 2 foot, no wider than 2 feet, and he's got you.
No wider than 2 feet. Okay. Does it have a bag of holding? Bradford wouldn't know that.
Do as he instructs.
Yeet.
I
Nice,
mean,
it's not hard.
you might know that, yeah.
Okay.
Begin setting about breaking hollow bones.
Imagine it's not hard.
Easy. Okay. So you break up the bones, get them loaded, and get on your way?
Can we keep an eye out, or this Coin's gonna try to keep an eye out to see if our whistling bolt has attracted the attention of any other Eurythaxes?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So a perception roll.
That seems reasonable.
Nice, we're off to a good start today.
Yeah, you know what? You're a little bit hard of hearing right now.
What?
Couldn't imagine why.
I'll
Sounds
keep
like-
a lookout.
But
Sounds
on the
like
bright
a
side,
simple.
you feel like you've never been quieter.
I am stealth
Captain-
incarnate. It says stepping on gravel.
Captain Riker is relieved, surely.
I also don't see shit.
All right,
So
let's see
you
if-
make your way
Section
out
is
into this
something.
open clearing, outside of this ridge line as it comes into where you see a slow sloping hill that hedges into this monastery-like location. As you approach, the mist isn't particularly heavy here, and you do see that the 2 massive towers of this area have collapsed significantly to the point they look like they would not be safe to stay in. The central area that contains this sort of story, almost castle-like tower does seem to be in relatively good shape, though surrounded. As you get closer, you see that there are 2 layers of thick metal that has been oxidized over and since rusted. Bars that hang outside like a fence of it. They're greenish and covered in various bits of duskland vegetation that sort of hangs on it, and just judging by the look of it, gives it more structure than it would have without it. And this way, they've become sort of symbiotic upon each other. As you approach, you see Oni look at it, look around, and just go, before proceeding.
Something up.
He just, as he's walking, looks slowly ushers over to it. Quite interesting how the root has grown across the fence. Seems like it would collapse without it.
Oh, maybe there we can start slashing vines. Set a trap.
He just looks. Any of you smiths, metallurgists?
Immediately points at Lucian.
How good is your history, Jenny?
Let me see.
He opens a book.
Should be okay. As I look at my notes, I guess.
Yeah, roll history.
Sure. 29.
You immediately know what he's
Ooh.
talking about. As you look upon the metal and see the different varying degrees of oxidation on it that has caused it to go green and brittle, you know what he's talking about when he mentions history, because this is a old type of metallurgy that's long since been replaced by more resolute alloys, as it's sort of a mixture of brass and iron. The reason being, if you mixed, copper, tin, and iron, it was a lot cheaper than just using pure iron. But this is not something that's been done in a long, long time.
Would like to share this with the party.
Yeah.
A lot of information.
Easily, you share it with the party. And he just looks precisely. But yet it still holds, and we can see what measure this place was. He looks like at overview. Booyog, has your ranging ever taken you out this far?
I don't recall if it ever has, but I'm almost certain it hasn't.
Typically, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, most ranging takes place between the cities, not at the edge of the world.
That is correct.
What I'm meaning to allude to is that this place, even as desiccated and he just looks around, disused as it is, still stands even after so long. He just looks at y'all and then immediately turns on his heel and continues walking. As you make your way through the inner gate of this area, through this large open courtyard that is full of refuse and rubble and overgrowth of gnarled vine, the kind you see everywhere in any part of the Duskland, that threatens to take it over and pull it back into the earth, it seems. Similar to how the base you have in the training room has all those cracks that are pulled tightly together by roots, almost like the world itself is preserving the area. You continue to move forward and eventually get towards this inner gate, and where you see this very large monastery, though as you see it, the second floor seems to be open, almost as if it was not particularly a living area, but a open area. For those of you who have been to Secusia, almost like the symposiums they had there, where they were open to the world. In that same design, but the inner area is covered by these two broken down towers to which trees have started to grow through the cracks in the broken concrete that was placed upon it. And then lines the single fence that long since has lost its gate to whatever befell this place. And I can show you as soon as I find where I put it.
As you're looking for that, does the monster have any particular religious iconography? Like, I imagine each of the Singelia has like their own icon indicating that it's them, like Gamela versus others.
Roll a perception.
Oh boy!
And then a religion to follow up the perception.
You
Not
see
bad.
it and then do you understand it?
Double 19s.
Okay. Yeah. So what you see are a few things. First off, so let me just go ahead and state that. Along the central lining of it is this spiraling around these two pillars that go up in front of the main structure, as you would see like here. No, these appear to be like broken down fountains that have long since failed to work. But along these, it's spiraled but cracked, but you can still make out a good image of it as it winds up into the top and eventually connects into a symbol that you don't see very often as people have gotten away from placing their emphasis on God and placing it on the Singelia. You see the image of the one true God.
Damn.
Though you got a 27 and a 25. Though it's lost much of its luster to time and I guess the frailty of stone, you do still see a variety of colors that represent all of the colors of the rainbow, as well as areas that are etched out. 3 specific that have seemed to have lost their shine over time. But they wrap around in this sort of prismatic arch at the top, creating what is, I guess I've never even described it, a perfect circle of all these bands intertwined.
Perfect circle, all the bands intertwined.
Correct. So almost like a Twizzler of multicolors.
Oh, okay. It's like a twisting, revolving. Okay, gotcha. A Twizzler of rainbows.
I don't know why, but it instantly made me think of like Redain's token, like the border for that. Which is
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
Yeah. A helix, maybe.
Precisely. Though, like I said, a lot of the luster and shine has been lost from all of the colors and is completely unfound in whatever the other were.
Noted. Interesting. Just sketch that down in my journal.
As you do walk in, though, you see, like all things, the absence of civilization, of commerce, of use has led to the regrowth of nature as it reclaims once what was its. As growth props out between every crack of every stone and along all the metal, having shattered many pieces, as you see the statues themselves of the towers have been cracked and have root growing through them that new trees have sprouted out from. Looking at it, in time, it's likely that nature will reclaim all of it.
As it tends to do.
Nature always wins.
Not if we nuke it.
Hold on, wait, he has a point though. We should get
Riddle
on
me
nuclear
that.
warfare.
You see Oni stop outside of this and sort of take a dagger and scrape along the line of it, just checking whatever grassy growth is on the ground before taking a close examining of it as he looks over to y'all. Huh. Interesting you're so willing to walk on that without knowing it's safe.
Jericho, who was just about to step on it, puts his foot down on Stone, says, "That's what I was thinking."
Blinks
Well, that would have been a good test subject.
I don't need martyrs. I need soldiers. He points over there with the blade. I wouldn't go near that one, though.
And what is that?
Sorry, what is he
He
pointing at this?
Points at this large plant that seems to be wrapping around this tree in a way that looks an uncomfortable manner of digestion, almost.
Ugh.
Like a Venus flytrap plus a snake?
Correct. Like it's grown around this tree and is sustaining itself upon it.
Oh.
It's like an advanced sucker plane. Oh.
Well,
Plant enemies.
Plenemies.
so gross.
We're going to meet Viper here. So best we secure the area before he like stops, looks around.
What's the matter?
You see that over there?
Look at it.
As
Spot
you
anything shiny or something?
look upon this area, you see that there is almost like organic droppings outside of it, whereas there's nothing else around it that would indicate any sort of life.
And it doesn't look like bird droppings or anything, like they just flew by.
Correct. Almost like piles of just small little congregations of refuse.
It's a very pretty way of saying shit.
Well,
Is it like
there's no bit of
rabbits or
fish.
deers where they're just like teeny tiny little marbles, basically?
Yeah, like a pile of that. Yes, correct.
Put all in one spot.
Like it's been shoved to it.
Huh.
Okay.
As if somebody was coming through with a broom and sweeping it into one spot for cleaning?
Right.
Cleaning the litter box.
Jericho will take a knee by it. He ain't afraid of shit. Does it look fresh?
I thought that was Jericho
I hate you
hailing the
so much right now.
He ain't afraid of
What
shit.
happened?
Listen.
What?
The ain't afraid of shit. Got it.
It took him a second, but he got it. Sadly for him.